live martial arts class. This is one of the fastest weapons that you can learn, the Japanese bow or the other martial arts long staff. Grab your long staff. We're going to talk a little bit about flow in this workout today, this fast martial arts weapons class or weapons lesson. I want you to start with his warm-up, going one side to the other side. You just want to build some strength in your forearms, loosen the wrists, keep the body safe from injury by lubricating the joints. Just one side to the next side. And then from here, I want you to go around. So you're doing your overhand spin. These are all just warm-up moves. Increase your endurance, your speed, your ability to control the staff. One hand's just over top of the other one. Stop that, go back the other way. You get it warmed up a little bit. 30 seconds per spin. Go into a front hand. That means put one foot in front of the other one. This is the left hand, front hand. Infinity spin or figure eight spin. Just in front of the body from side to side. Go a little bit slowly. You can see the hand carves that sideways figure eight motion. After you do it in front of your body, here and to the side, step up so that your feet are just directly in your body and put it to the front and the back. You're gonna go here, front and back of the body. Bring it into the other hand, forward spin. Front of the body, the right hand, loosening up the wrist, strengthening the joints. And then bring your foot up under your body to the front and the back. It's all just preparation. Get strong, get the blood flowing, lubricate the joints. Stomach up and in, abs tight. Bring it back into the first hand and go into a reverse spin. So now you're pulling it up and away from you. That reverse endless spin or figure eight. Just in front of your body first. Bring your foot up so it's just under your body and do that same reversing spin to the front of your body and to the back. With your arms out to the side. 30 seconds here. The reason I want you to do 30 seconds is I don't want you to spend a lot of time on any one spin in one workout, unless it's something you're really working at. Once you get it, then I want you to be able to weave them together so you can start to freestyle or flow in your workouts, and you can hit more techniques in the same amount of time, get better faster. But this is a basic level flow workout. So you're gonna learn how to flow with your martial arts long staff, your Japanese bow. Maybe you use the Korean jongbong or the banbo. Someone said bamboo banbo. I thought that was funny. Haven't seen that for a while. Speed that up. And you speed it up just by squeezing here in your midsection, your tummy up and in, stomach tight, and then turn your hips and your shoulders just a little bit. Get a little bit more speed there. All right, that's the basic warm-up flow. So we start here, one side to the other side, and then we went to the overhand spin on both sides, and we went right into figure eights, single hand bow spin. And then we did that to the front and the side, doing both sides, and then we reversed it, and reversing it on the side. Now that you've done that, go behind your back. Start with it in your right hand. You're gonna put it behind your back, pull it out with the left hand. And it really is that simple. The hardest part is not whacking your head or not wanting to whack. You're gonna hit your head sometimes, right? But you don't want to. I'm gonna lower the camera just a little bit, hold on. I get nauseous. All right, I wanted you to see, when I take it behind my back, I just pull it out. When it goes behind your back, you can take it the other hand like this. This is kind of like this spin. So you transfer one hand to the next, or you can take it like this. And I'm gonna show you from here. I can just take it here and out, or I can do that, turn all the way up, thumb to pinky, and pull it out here. But either way is correct. It's just what feels better for you. One turns it a little bit more than the next. Just go from one side to the next. This is that next level of flow where you can't see your staff. Up until now, all of the moves you're doing are in your line of sight and you can see it. If you use a camera or the mirror, you can see it, but I don't want you to see it. I just want you to feel it, because you're gonna have to feel how far back do you stretch your arm so you don't whack yourself in the back of the head. And you learn by doing, you learn by hitting yourself. After you've done this behind your back for 30 seconds, bring your arms straight up and over your head. I'm gonna kneel down so you can see it. So from behind your back, it just comes straight up. Your arm is straight and your wrist is going to turn. Now this turn puts the staff into my left hand, my right hand. Puts the staff into my left hand in the same exact way that you warmed up. That's the spin. So when I go, take it out from behind my back and I lift it straight up, I turn it and I take it, and now it's in the other hand, it goes behind your back again. So you go behind your back, over your head, I'll squat just a little, over your head, behind your back. And this behind your back above your head flow requires that you don't see it. Now that's an idea more so than it is a technique. So it's a principle of flow. Once you go out of your line of sight, you go by the feel of it. Once you've done that for a while, just change directions. Above your head, behind your back, over and over. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Work on good technique. Work on lifting that arm straight up over your head. A lot of times when you struggle with it, I've seen your elbows bent too much. And then your elbows bent too much, it freaks you out because it comes to your face, right? So get that elbow straight. It's enough over your head. You're not gonna hit yourself. It feels pretty comfortable. Now let's go back into a wrist roll to a wrist roll. Because now you've done behind your back, above your head, you've done the basic spins. Now I want you to do rolls, because this becomes a transition move when you start to bow flow or freestyle with your martial arts long staff. And all you're gonna do, this is my left hand, turn it until I can't turn any longer. I let it go while it's still in motion. I'm gonna assist here. It balances on the back of my hand, while my hand softly, gently, and quickly turns to catch it so that it keeps going. Just keep it going one way. Let that go back the other way. And that's the same thing. I bring it up to the thumb side. It's over the back of my wrist. And I turn and I catch it. So now, spinning over the back of the hand, back of the hand. And right here, this is another concept of flow with the bow staff. When it gets here, and if I just let it spin, I'm gonna try to back up enough so that you see it. See what happened? It spins and my hand walked itself down to here. And that's gonna happen to you, unless you also, as it comes here, slide your wrist wherever it needs to go. It's gonna need to go this way. Slide your wrist to readjust while it's spinning. You slide and readjust, slide, and then also when it's here, you're sliding back and forth. So that instead of it working itself to this again, see, I got the long side, it stays just in the middle. And I'm super sweaty today, so it's a little sticky on my hand, but that's good. That's good training. I want those little challenges to overcome so that I can continue to grow. So you have to learn how to slide your hand to keep your hand in the middle, and then go from one side to the other side. Put it in the other hand, do the same thing. Wrist roll to a wrist roll. It doesn't have to be this fast, or it can be faster. There's no way to do it wrong as long as you're in motion, as long as you're taking action. And then back into that first hand, I want to go into a finger roll, and this is going to be continuous. That means you're not stopping, you're constantly turning. Turning, turning. It's going to really stretch out your fingers, stretch out your hand, build strength in your forearm. And this is the continuous, and after continuous, I'm going to do the same thing in the other hand before I switch to a 3-finger spin. Well, just lost it there. Get it going again. Don't expect to get it all the first time you do it. I know I didn't. It took me years before some things clicked. But if you do a little bit every day, it probably won't take you as long as it took me. I like to say, if I can do it, anybody can do it. And that's the truth. I'm not the fastest learner in the world, but I don't quit. I don't give up, and you shouldn't either. You just keep going till you get it. Keep moving in the same direction and you'll get there. Now, 3-finger roll. 1, 2, 3. These 3 fingers come together. My thumb reaches out, grabs it, and turns it again. 2, 3. My thumb assists and continues with the spin. Now, I want this 3-finger roll because that's going to go back into my figure 8 spin. I can do a continuous spin out here for as long as you want, but eventually you want to get it back into motion. When we talk about flow, this is all about bow staff flow or transition or freestyle. How do you freestyle? How do you start to look like more than just, the basic spin? I want you to know how to fight, right? I want you to smash things with it for self-defense, but I also want you to know how to keep it in motion. All right, so we go here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you spin it into your figure 8. From the figure 8, you're gonna do a finger roll on that side to a wrist roll on the opposite side. This side is my left. On the left, it's finger. Right, it's a wrist roll. So finger roll over here, and the wrist roll is over the thumb side. Fingers, 2, 3, wrist roll, and then into the other hand. I'll start with a wrist roll. So it's going to be wrist roll opposite side. This is my right hand on the right side. 3-finger staff roll, wrist roll. And you're going to do this 30 seconds. 30 seconds per side. All in the purpose or the goal of getting better at flowing with your bow staff. Then I'm going to simplify it. I'm going to back it up a little bit. I'm going to go into my figure 8 in front of my body, and then I'm just going to turn around. And as I turn around, it's going to go into a reverse spin. I'm going to show you from this angle. So this being my front, from here, this is my left hand. I'm going to step with my right foot. When I come around, I'm facing the other way, and now my spin is in the reverse. I'm in the reverse. I take that step again, turning my body, and it turns it into the forward spin. Turning around, almost turned the wrong way, reverse, forward. That's all it is, just turning your body, same hand, same spin, into the other one. Then, same thing other side. Doing the right hand, the right side first. I take a step with the left, and now I've got this one. I just said that one thing you should never say in a martial arts class, which is sorry. I honestly believe that. You hear me say that again, put it in the comment section. I heard you say it, don't say it. You're welcome. You're welcome. It's better than you're sorry, or I'm sorry, right? My pleasure. I love doing these. All right, so I'm doing this forward spin here. I now bring my arm simply to the other side of my body. So now there's no step. Before I was stepping, now I'm not stepping. And one's not better than the other. One's not right, one's not wrong. They're simply different moves so that you have an entire tool chest or an arsenal of moves that you can do when you start to put together your moves for self-defense or for freestyle flow, or like if you wanted to do a demonstration, or if you want to teach, or you just want to feel different parts of your body move and stay young and flexible in your mind and in your body. Learn how to flow with the staff. So the hand just coming across the body changes it. Now I want you to do this forward spin from the front and the back of the body, and then take it into your other hand and go into a reverse spin. So whichever one does reverse forward, the other one's going to do the opposite, right? So my left hand is now in the reverse. I'm going to bring it back over, but to bring it over, I have to do the second kind of transfer. Remember we start the whole workout every time like this. And this is for 2 reasons. This is the fastest way that I know to get your wrists wicked strong, flexible, healthy. just doing this from one side to the next. Also, it transfers, it's the first transfer. Takes it from one hand into the next hand. Then the second spin you do in this workout is this overhand butterfly spin with your bow staff. And that's because this is the second way you're gonna transfer. Palms facing away from each other. First way, palms facing the same direction, pinky to pinky. Here's the exact opposite of that. Pinky to thumb, palms facing the other way. So now I go forward spin. This is my right hand to the front and the back of my body. Bring it to the middle. I have to take it into this spin. That's that simple first transfer. And to bring it back, I rotate it over and I come over the top. And I take it here. So you're gonna go forward, reverse. Forward, reverse. Do this for 30 seconds and then you're going to build it into behind the back, into a reverse, forward, the transfer happens behind the back. And when you go behind the back on this one, you can do just a simple transfer where both palms are like this, or you can do this hand transfer. Either one's correct. But it's forward spin on my right, behind the back, take it out with my left. Now it's in a reverse spin. It has to be reversed when it comes out. It's just because the staff keeps moving, it's endless. From here, over the top, into the forward. Then, behind your back, reverse, and bring your arm straight up over your head into a forward spin on this side. So you have behind your back, but you have some spin. Spinning, when you're ready, lift the arm straight up over your head, bring it back down. That's all I'm doing. From here, reverse, lift your arm straight up over your head. And you see what's happening? I'm gonna try to go super duper slow without breaking the move. From here, my hand, it's just from here, see how that's still kind of doing that figure eight? And it wants to do the same thing when I bring it back over here. So it's the same endless move over the head into the forward spin. And the reason I want you to do that is because I want you to see, it's all planes, it's just planes. There's nothing complicated or fancy about it, except before you can do it, or before you've done it, you're afeared. You're afraid of smacking yourself in the head, which is a good, healthy, normal fear, because you are gonna smack yourself in the head. But just smack yourself, get over it, and then you won't smack yourself as much the next time. And eventually, you only smack yourself every once in a while. All right, so one more thing, and then we're done with this one. It's spinning, and then I want you to go into the other hand, go back and forth, back and forth. I'm just showing you from the side so you can see. This is my front now. And from here, I'm gonna step, and I'm gonna keep going back and forth, hand to hand, but now I'm spinning in reverse, and I step, and I'm going forward, and I step, and I turn. And by the way, when you turn, all you're doing is just moving your feet around your body. You can turn continuously in the same direction until you're dizzy, or you can then spin it behind your back, and start going the other way, but it's just turning. I'm turning one way, and then I'm turning back the other way. Then you bring it out and throw it across the room and go pick it up with your foot, or however you want to. By the way, when I first learned, every time you dropped it, you had to do push-ups. And I love push-ups. It's like my second love. I'd hate to use them as a punishment. I think it's silly. I don't want to use them as a punishment. So I don't say, every time you drop it, drop down and follow it. Now, if it were my rifle, right, in the Marine Corps boot camp, you have to follow it because it's life or death. This isn't life or death. All right, one more time. So you're spinning, you're going from one hand to the next hand, flowing, and one of the most simple ways you can flow, but then you just turn your body around, and by turning around, you're in the reverse. It has to be in the reverse. You're not gonna be able to do it unless it goes in the reverse. And then I want you to try turning, and then turning back the other way before you get dizzy. And turning back the other way. And then start putting it behind your back when you turn, behind your back. I'll drop it again. Behind your back. And then When you go behind your back, bring it over your head a couple times, go back into the forward spin, bring it behind your back, bring it up over your head. Where is it? There it is, over my head, and then I bring it back. And you have to kind of start to play around with that stuff, or you're never gonna get it. You have to drop it over and over and over, pick it up. But you have to, there's something that the brain does when the brain connects with the body. So you can understand it here, but you can't do it here until you start to do it. So now, yeah, absolutely. And you know what? It's gonna start slow. And this is what I find so funny, because people come in the early like, I know how to do that. I'm like, yeah, I know that. But I want your brain refreshed every move. There's a reason for this. There's a reason why every athlete, every one of the best athletes in the world, you know, if you're Michael Jordan, and he's been on TV a lot lately, right? And he lives up the street from here, and his daughter goes to school with my kid. But if you're Michael Jordan, I don't know what that doesn't mean anything, but you're Michael Jordan, but I loved him as a kid. He was the greatest basketball player of all time. You're Michael Jordan, right? Before he plays the game, he goes out on the court, and he practices, and he dribbles, and then they start passing to each other, and then they do layups, and then they might finish before they start the game with a dunk just to show off, but they do the same basic things over and over and over again. And that's what people miss all the time. They're like, oh, I already know how to do that. Well, if you do, then do it. If you know how to do it, do it. You know, prove it. Put your money where your mouth is. Show me, don't tell me. So you start here, and then you go into here, and then you go into there. This is dribbling up and down the court. This is passing back and forth. And then you go into this, from side to side. And then from here, you can start to go behind your back, and you can start to do some freestyle flow and, you know, figure some stuff out. But it's all basics, built on the basics. So you have to do basics built on basics, right? And we did this today because we're starting to talk about level 1. And I put the link below if you want to look at level 1 white belt curriculum for bow staff, according to me. And what do I know, right? You don't have to follow mine. But if you want to see my suggestion of where you can start, how you can build this stuff into blocks and get better and better and better, go look at the link below. And if you need a staff, look at the link below, get one. But that's all this is. You have to do basic spins first, hand transfers first, and then level 2, we're starting on level 2. Level 2, wrist rolls and finger rolls. And there's a reason I have it in level 2. Wrist rolls and finger rolls get you so much stronger, so much faster than anything else I know when it comes to martial arts weapons. Being able to do this, and this, it's not that it's hard, it's a super simple move, but it takes a lot of dexterity, it takes a lot of hand strength, a lot of finger strength, wrist strength, and you're gonna build it. It's gonna get wicked strong in here. And it keeps your hands healthy because now you're extending and not just grabbing. When you just hold the staff and your hands are closed, those pulling motions, your hands are gonna get really strong. But if you don't also extend your fingers out, then you start to get imbalances, and that's where you have wrist pain and hand pain and finger pain. And so I don't have any hand pain, elbow pain, finger pain, shoulder pain, nothing. Except when I did too many pull-ups 2 weeks ago. And I'm still kind of feeling it a little bit, but I've healed it mostly. Thanks to a lot of aggressive physical therapy moves that I learned free on YouTube, because YouTube is the bomb. YouTube's got everything. I don't know why anybody would pay for anything anymore, right? Not for the basic level. Get the basic level for free. It's all out there. Anyway, so finger rolls, continuous, and then we did those 3 finger rolls, and then we started talking about flow. And absolutely. And it's posture. So much of it is posture. Stomach up and shoulders back and down. And here's where posture is improved by the staff. I'm glad you said that, because the body, the way the body moves, really affects this. Doesn't matter how strong your arms, shoulders are. You're absolutely right. You want speed, power, fluidity in your bow staff. And not just for fun, but also for being able to defend yourself and hitting as hard as you can. It's the core, because the core muscles tie the upper body and the lower body together. The arms and the shoulders and the hands and the back are all strong. The legs are strong. But if you have a weak core, it doesn't, they don't connect, and you don't move efficiently, but you also don't move correctly. And that's when you hit yourself more often. But here, When you start to do this move to the front and the back, and it forces you to squeeze your stomach up and in, breathe through your nose, and the faster you go requires small moves of the hips and the shoulders, but it's all made possible by this strong core. So doing these moves, and then when you start to move forward and back, and when you step and you go faster, and you start to turn, you bring it around, and you turn back the other way, all of that is firing those core muscles, and the more that you do that, the more they're going to strengthen, and the better your posture is going to be. But if you want to get your posture strong fast, do 30-second planks in between 30 seconds of each spin, right? And this seems like overkill, but it's not, and it's hard. 30 seconds here. This is our first one. 30 seconds per hand. Do both hands, do 1 full minute, and then go down and do a 30-second plank. If you don't know what a plank is, let me know. But basically on your arms, elbows to here, and you can close your eyes if you need to, but breathe while you're doing your plank. Thank you. So, and then go into this move for 30 seconds. And then drop down and do a 30-second plank. And then do this for 30 seconds. Each side, after a minute, that way. Drop down, 30-second plank. But you get my point, 30 seconds, it'll add up to 4 or 5 minutes during a workout. Not only will you be like 2 inches taller at the end of your workout, you'll start to get leaner, your gut won't hang out as much, your shoulders will be back, you'll look healthy and strong. Awesome, thank you. What I want to finish with though, here, real quick, because I finally have a student. Yay, I still can't open for business because of the corona, whatever. But I'm starting to be able to do some private lessons, some one-on-one stuff. So I do have somebody coming in I'm excited about in a little bit, and I need to disinfect everything again. I disinfect it when I get here. My kids are with me, they do the class with me. I send them with their mom, I disinfect it again, then I work out, get sweat and nastiness everywhere, then I disinfect it again. So triple disinfectant. I do that anyway. All right, so we're gonna finish here because I want you to think about this as a self-defense weapon ultimately, more than anything. Like they say, martial arts is so good for focus. Martial arts is so good for discipline. Martial arts is yes, whatever you've got, train with whatever you have. Don't wait to start. But martial arts is punching and kicking and grappling and choking people out and breaking their arm for self-defense. First. And this is my biggest beef. This is why I do so much stuff online. I don't work as much. I'm not working with 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds, giving them black belts, 10-year-olds, 12-year-olds. And it's not about the black belt and I'm such a hard-nosed guy. It's because it has to be martial arts. That's how I started. I used the paint roller, used to unscrew it in between apartments. I grew up painting apartments. Painted 1,000 apartments in my life, easily, I'm sure. Anyway, but martial arts, more than anything, is discipline in the body. Getting yourself strong so you can defend yourself from that punk, or that thug, or that group of thugs, or those jerks, or whatever. So you can stand up to someone in their face and say, look, you don't have to like me, but you can't talk to me like that. You can't touch me. You got to get out of my face, man. This is my personal space. I have the right to defend myself. That's what martial arts is. And then kids getting good grades, that's a benefit. That's a side, but that's after. That's secondary. That's not number one. I go to these martial arts schools around the country here, especially in the US, and I see them playing soccer, and I see them playing dodgeball, and they got the Nerf gun fights, and they have cartoons painted on their windows, and because they're trying to survive and make a couple dollars. And no one's getting rich in this industry. They're not. There's no way. You show me the guy who's getting rich in this industry, I'll show you the holes in his business model, because he's lying to you. It only lasts for a couple years. But the reason that they all do that is because they think, oh, I gotta get students. Or, and there's another group of these martial artists who just don't know any better. They're 3rd, 4th generation from some guy who really stinks. And I was gonna say a meaner word, but I'm not gonna say it. This guy in Vietnam, 40 years ago, 50 years ago, whenever it was, he was stationed in Okinawa, and he learned karate for 6 months. Or he was in Korea and Seoul, and he learned Taekwondo for 6 months. And then they come back, and then they're disconnected from everything. And then they make it up, and then they got a gut out to here. And they call themselves Soki this and Soki that, which means 10th degree founder of the style. Soki of crap is what it is. And I'm not picking on, this isn't like a McDojo rant or anything. This is just reality. Because what's happened now is, in most people's minds, the black belt in the traditional Taekwondo, karate, all those martial arts, the traditional striking, is a joke. It's become a joke for so many people because it's like a little kiddie thing. Yeah, my nephew, he's the third Dan and he's 7 years old. They say things like that. And it's true, because some idiot somewhere gave a 7-year-old, gave him at 4 years old, gave him their black belt. And then a year later, give him the second Dan and the third Dan. And then the kid's the same rank as I am when he's 17. It's a joke. Anyway, yeah, curtain rod, that works. The point is this. Stop playing games in martial arts school, for one. You don't need to. Teach tradition. Teach 1,000 of these. And make it hard again. Make it something. And when mommy comes up and says, or dad, because it's a lot of dads now, my sweet little boo-boo, he didn't sleep well last night. I don't care. I really don't. I don't care if your kid slept well last night. Stand still. That's what I told him to do. I didn't ask him to stand still. I told him to. Anyway, you get my point, right? I want you to see this thing not just as this fun, spinning, cool, Ray Park in the Star Wars movie with double-bladed lightsaber. That's all cool, fun stuff. I love that. But this is a weapon. You put this between yourself and the threat. You're the threat. You point your thumb at the threat. Now the staff, you shove it through his face because you said, I have every right to defend myself, thug. Get out of my face, criminal, bad guy or whatever. You put it between you and that dog that's running around the neighborhood. Off the leash, just mauling kids, and shove it into his face, you smash his head. For self-defense, only for self-defense. That's what this is about. This kind of stuff, I want you to know all this, all the moves that you can possibly learn, right? Even the super fancy stuff that you can mostly do with the baton. You can also do with this. But more so than anything, you're walking down the street, you're going for a hike. Here comes the threat. He's got a knife, you've got a giant stick. Who wins? Well, if you let him get close enough, he's gonna stick the knife in you. So you put it between you and him and you say, back up. And if he doesn't, you hit him with it. That's the most basic strike, right? Just from here, straight in. Second, straight through him. Third, like a pull cue. Fourth, down over the top. Fifth, sweep his legs, break his knee. But that's what this is, more than anything. All right, I got too excited. Let's finish. I want to do wrist roll to wrist roll. From one side to the next. I need a drink of water or something. All right, so 1, 2. You're doing this to start to build some power in your hands, because this creates a lot of momentum in the stick. It's gonna be hard for you to stop it and throw it back the other way. But it's also, when you're in this protected position and you strike, you need to change to this position, gets you in the other hand a lot faster. So from here to here and back again. 1, 2. Then, because we can't finish any video without some strikes, we've got to spin and thrust. Spin, thrust, spin, and I'm thrusting above the camera, but my target, I'm asking myself, what are my targets? It's your eyeball. From here, spin, thrust, for self-defense. Spin, strike. Spin, strike. So practice your basic strikes, but put that spin in between every strike. Go from one side to the next side, and then do another strike. Coming across, taking their chin clear off their face, strike, strike. And you have to fight with it. If you don't know how to fight with it, then you might as well be doing low battery. If you don't know how to fight with it, you might as well be using a baton and twirling a baton. And you don't want to be accused of twirling. You want to say, I'm a martial artist. It's my martial arts weapon. It's one of the best street fight self-defense weapons there are, because it's a long stick. All right, thanks so much. I'll see you in the next